Hello and welcome to APhATV News, presented to you by the American Pharmacists Association. APhA is dedicated to moving the profession of pharmacy forward, providing tools and programs for today's pharmacists, and developing new and innovative practice models for the future. APhA is working with legislative and regulatory bodies, pharmacy associations, payers, physicians, and other healthcare providers, and many other groups to drive connections with all healthcare providers, to maximize quality patient care, and to advance the role that pharmacists play in the delivery of patient care services. The profession of pharmacy is diverse and vibrant, making now, more than ever, an exciting time to be a pharmacist. APhA is leading the profession by engaging its members in advocacy and educational programming. Antonio Neves was on the scene to see APhA members taking part.
Your voice, our profession. That was the theme at APhA 2012 yesterday. In the morning at the second general session, the focus was on how your voice is helping to get pharmacists recognized in our nation's capital.
If every pharmacist in our country made a political outreach contact, that would be 300,000 outreach contacts. If every pharmacist convinced one patient to do an outreach on their behalf, that would bring the total up to 600,000 outreaches. Then, if every pharmacist would also just get one physician or other healthcare professional to advocate for the pharmacist's role on their team, that would result in a total of 900,000 outreaches.
It's very important that what our needs are heard in Washington so that we can better take care of our patients.
Rear Admiral Scott Giberson of the Public Health Service.
On this day, on this stage, on this venue at APhA, this is where we have impact. How are we going to make a bigger impact and be of better value to the nation? We have to set the tone. We are healthcare providers. Last I checked, we provided patient care. Last I checked, we provided health care. I think that makes us healthcare providers.
Sunday afternoon, it was time for future pharmacists to take the stage at the ASP House of Delegates. These students are learning to use their voices to help advance their profession.
Student pharmacists are the largest stakeholders in the profession of pharmacy. One day, all the student pharmacists will graduate and become pharmacists, and the decision that the House of Delegates is making now directly impacts our future and our career and our practices.
Strong leaders discussing the changing landscape of pharmacy, compelling speakers sharing important insight, and the recognition of the achievements of our APhA peers. Those are some of the highlights from Day 2 of the APhA 2012 convention. Here again is Antonio Neves with the details.
APhA 2012 kicked off on Saturday with an opening keynote from the executive editor of Wired magazine. Attendees geared up for a jam-packed weekend with awards in over 80 education programs, with the key theme being leadership.
To me, one of the other great profound changes with healthcare and scale has been biotechnology and chemistry. It's the industry that you are all in. And it starts, obviously, with this idea that if you can synthesize drugs, if you can synthesize vaccinations, if you can create simple chemical, biological tools that you can kind of package and distribute to people, well, then you can improve lots of people's lives.
This is an incredible honor, actually, to be having been recognized as the federal pharmacist. I consider federal pharmacist a privilege to have worked with all these years. This will be my 30th year in the VA, and so most of my career has been in service of America's heroes.
The opportunities for leadership currently in pharmacy are tremendous, because with the Affordable Care Act, the whole industry is changing. It takes a community, it takes a village to develop a leader, and it starts when someone's in school, in the College of Pharmacy.
It's my chance to give back. Leadership development, I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't had so many mentors and great people that helped me become a leader.
In my experience, there has never been a previous opportunity in which there has been a greater need for the skills and the expertise that the pharmacist has.
Perhaps never before has the profession of pharmacy been so exciting, and APhA is leading the profession by engaging its members in advocacy and educational programming. Our reporter Antonio Nez was on the scene as the APhA 2012 convention got underway and saw how excited and happy everyone was to take part in the stimulating activities.
Even before the APhA convention officially started, the Federal Pharmacy Forum was in high gear Friday morning. A New Orleans jazz band greeted members as they registered for APhA 2012. But the real buzz was all about the convention.
I'm really excited because there's lots of educational opportunities, networking opportunities.
We do have about a dozen students who've traveled from Atlanta, Georgia to attend this meeting, and we also have faculty members on staff, and so they're all very excited.
Get to speak to some possible employers in the future and kind of see what's going on with pharmacy.
It seems that everyone here knows that whether you're a pharmacy student, a School of Pharmacy faculty member, or a practicing pharmacist, that APhA is working hard to drive connections and transform patient care.
You know, I believe the biggest stride that APhA has made over the last year is its ability to convene and or support collaborations within the profession and outside the profession.
As the gavel came down to open the 2012 APhA House of Delegates session, Speaker Brad Tice was focused on moving the pharmacy practice model forward.
Whether that's learning about pharmacogenomics, whether that's implementing medication therapy management or pharmaceutical care or however you want to call it, but it's really about establishing themselves as the practitioner that can really help patients the best.
A vast number of those attending APhA 2012 are PharmD students. But whether you're a student or you've had a long-term pharmacy practice, staying current on the latest in education is critical.
I consider the APhA annual meeting program to just provide a wealth of opportunity for pharmacists in any area of practice. There are topics on drug therapy. There are topics addressing new practice roles. There are topics regarding traditional responsibilities like compounding that some pharmacists have turned into a specialty. And there's something for everyone.
When it comes to collaborating with the bodies and agencies that shape and create regulatory and legislative policies, the American Pharmacists Association is at the forefront. They are also leading the charge to make sure pharmacists are recognized as healthcare providers and compensated for the growing number of services they provide. But APhA says to win this fight, it needs the support of every member and the support of stakeholders across the country. Here's a look at how the APhA team is working for you.
Founded in 1852, the American Pharmacists Association has a long, proud history of working to increase awareness of the role pharmacists play in patient care.
The mission of the association is to help our members, empower our members to improve medication use and advance patient care.
We believe that when pharmacists get involved in patient care, and specifically medication management, costs go down and quality goes up.
The 2011 U.S. Public Health Services Report, Improving Patient and Health System Outcomes Through Advanced Pharmacy Practice, states performance research has demonstrated that patient care services delivered by pharmacists can improve patient outcomes, promote patient involvement, increase cost efficiency, and reduce demands affecting the healthcare system.
Pharmacy's really transformed from a primarily dispensing role to now one of cognitive services and helping patients understand how to take their medications appropriately.
That U.S. Public Health Services report goes on to say pharmacists should also be compensated through additional mechanisms commensurate with the level of services provided.
Under the Social Security Act, the only people that can bill for their services are people who are providers under the Act. Pharmacists are currently not listed as providers. Most pharmacists that I know would rather be dealing with patients than dispensing, but you can't get to that point unless you have some type of viable payment model. APhA recognizes that and is doing a lot to get pharmacists paid for their services.
Surgeon General Regina Benjamin publicly supported the report's concepts and recommended compensation models reflective of the range of care provided by pharmacists.
It's really significant that one of the highest ranking medical professionals in the U.S. government is supporting the role of the pharmacist as a healthcare provider. So from the APhA perspective, we'll be using the report in our advocacy activities when we go up on Capitol Hill.
At APhA, we have a number of tools in our tool belt that we use to influence. The Key Contacts Network is a critical piece in that tool belt, and they're the people who make that connection to their elected official, build the relationship, and is one of the only things that can actually move an issue up on Capitol Hill.
The recently enacted healthcare reform bill set up an entity within CMS called the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Innovation. They have $1 billion, and what they want is not net new, brand new things. They want to know, what are pharmacists doing right now that works really well? They want to take that, replicate it, scale it up, and spread it all across the country.
New healthcare business models are creating opportunities for pharmacists to take on additional provider roles.
Some of the business models that we're seeing success throughout the country are where pharmacists are being integrated into the healthcare team and being a resource and being utilized to help patients manage their medications.
There's a ton of opportunities for pharmacy in all of these areas. Pharmacists have to show their value, have to step up and explain to other members of the healthcare team the value that we bring to the table. And things like the Surgeon General's report and other studies that have been done by the APhA Foundation, like APhA, all demonstrate the value of pharmacists. So the future's ours. It's up to us to make the most that we can of all these opportunities and new things that are happening in healthcare.
Indianapolis-based Butler University College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences traces its origins to more than a century ago and is known for producing graduates who are outstanding practitioners and agents of change in their community and practice setting. In 2006, the college received a $25 million grant from Lilly Endowment Incorporated and used this grant to support a number of public health initiatives, as well as construction of a 42,000 square foot addition to the pharmacy and health science building.
In 2006, when the grant was written, there were needs for new faculty and new facilities.
The grant has affected just about every single faculty member and staff member. This is one classroom and is a part of our 42,000 square foot new addition.
And that included research labs, offices, and some new classrooms.
So I'm pursuing both a Doctor of Pharmacy and a Master's in Pharmaceutical Sciences here at Butler. And I chose to do that because I know that when I finish with my education, what I want to be doing is research in drug discovery.
The grant has allowed all of our instructional and research labs to be either remodeled or built new. This research lab, for example, is completely new, and its design allows collaboration, and all of our researchers are together in one place in our college.
With funds from the Lilly Endowment Grant, the university decided to expand students' focus to develop them as broader participants in the nation's healthcare.
So the REACH project stands for Resources to Enhance the Achievement of Community Health, and it was originally started by a mapping of pharmacies around the state, particularly with a focus on looking at them in rural areas and to see what the supply was and the access would be. And then from there we were able to start some student projects and actually look at how we could engage pharmacists in those communities to be more involved in public health.
Students spend the last year before graduation immersed in experiential education in a variety of settings. This includes at least 1 month on site providing care to the medically underserved.
Yeah, while working on my previous rotations, I had never dealt with the underserved population, and this was a very eye-opening experience to me to be with patients that didn't have enough food to put on the table and got laid off from their jobs.
One of the projects supported by the grant is the student-run pharmacy.
Well, the Butler University Community Outreach Pharmacy does have interprofessional relationships between Butler and 4 schools of Indiana University, and we work most closely with the IU School of Medicine students.
Butler College of Pharmacy was involved in the Indiana University student outreach screening from the very beginning. So we planned it together, and we had that idea of having an inter-professional team learning together. The main benefit for the students is that they do get to know a community. They become familiar with the needs of the community, and by engaging with the community, they become more compassionate and more interested. But also, it is an early exposure to clinical medicine. So there is evidence that this will make them better providers in the future.
When my husband retired in 2008, we lost our medical insurance, and I also lost my primary care position. So basically, I had no medical doctor, no medication to treat my high blood pressure, my diabetes, or anything like that.
The clinic is amazing. Our community is thankful, and it means going to a place where you're already accepted.
I've seen quite a bit of improvement on myself. I've lost about 20 pounds in weight, which is a good start, and got on the right kind of medicine, and I just feel a whole lot better.
I've had a lot of great experiences here at the clinic, and it's really prepared me to be an agent of change for when I graduate and enter the workforce as a pharmacist. So I'm really excited to take what I've learned here at the clinic and apply that and make a difference when I'm a pharmacist.
The American Pharmacists Association doesn't confine its advocacy and support just to civilian pharmacists. For years, the APhA also has supported pharmacists in the Armed Forces, Public Health Service, and Veterans Administration. This year's close coordination with the Federal Pharmacy Forum at the APhA Convention is just one of the ways APhA helps government and armed forces pharmacists stay on top of their game with continuing education programs and more. The role of pharmacists continues to evolve beyond drug dispensing into patient care. This is evidenced every day at the University of Southern California School of Pharmacy. Students and faculty reach deep into the community to give homeless, mentally ill, and lower-income individuals access to the medicine and services they might not otherwise receive.
Los Angeles County has over almost 3 million people uninsured. And all too often, the only interaction with the healthcare provider they have is with our School of Pharmacy.
The USC School of Pharmacy is dedicated to improving healthcare for those in the community. One of the ways they meet this goal is with faculty and student involvement at a Skid Row clinic.
We are at the Center for Community Health, which is one of the few comprehensive medical homes that are just provide everything for any patient that comes in.
There's the pressure for doctors, especially primary care doctors, to see a certain number of patients per hour. And if a patient comes in with multiple chronic disease or they're on multiple medications, what we call polypharmacy, it's hard to spend 20 minutes and get every single thing that the patient needs to know. And what the pharmacist can do is actually take the ones that need education, need adjustments made in their medication.
So we get diabetes patients, hypertension patients, cholesterol patients, asthma, all these different chronic conditions where patients just are not reaching goal, and they're using up a lot of valuable healthcare system dollars. They're going to the ER a lot, they're going to the emergency, the hospital, and they're seeing the physician a lot and taking up a lot of the physician's time, when the real root of the problem is they're not receiving or using drug therapies optimally.
I went into a diabetic coma, almost died. Dr. Chen, I give him the credit for help saving my life. Because from him, I know how to count my carbs, I know my leptoids, all that. I know about eating well-balanced meals.
Chen's method was extraordinary because he would have me come in on a regular basis
and he had 2 assistants always working with him that were incredibly diligent. They made me test my blood 5 times a day to find out if my levels were going up, down, what even the most minor adjustments that were needed.
It doesn't matter if the patient is homeless or not. I'm helping my community, and I love it. When I see the difference after I help them, I see the improvements. I love it.
USC School of Pharmacy students reach deep into the community by treating patients in 80 languages, involvement in 60 health fairs, 12 low-income area clinics, and by volunteering in student-founded and student-run clinics like the Pharm-SC Clinic in East Los Angeles.
A patient that I work with at the clinic, we were going through all of the different values that we could screen for, and we noticed that her blood glucose was just sky high. It was scarily high. And because of that, we referred her to a free clinic where she could get diabetes strips and medication that would help control her sugar levels. And I think that was an important moment for me and us at the clinic to see what an impact that we could make even on just one individual.
It's key, especially in a community like this one where people aren't really sure of what diabetes is or what having high blood pressure means. And so for us to be here and be able to provide not just the screening but education as well, I think is valuable to this community.
As health professionals, the school is also committed to providing materials that engage and impact behavior.
In the Latino community, telenovelas, which are essentially soap operas, are very popular. So we take that same format and we put it in a comic book format. So it's a format that people are familiar with, so they read it.
And as a result, thousands have been helped by them.
We believe that these kind of programs are, again, important. They're part of our DNA. They're things that we've been doing for years and years and years, and we will continue to do them.
When most Americans think of pharmacists, they think of people in white lab coats. But now more than ever, it's the pharmacists in camouflage who are making a difference. Since 2005, APhA has worked with the Joint Forces Pharmacy Seminar to keep the nation's armed forces pharmacists up to date with the latest research, industry practices, and drug innovation. This year's event, to be held in San Diego starting October 28th, will bring together more than 750 military service pharmacists to discuss the pharmacy issues vital to safeguarding the health of the people who protect our nation. Illegal drug abuse is a problem many communities face. The misuse and abuse of prescription drugs exceeds that for all street drugs combined except marijuana. To raise awareness, Ohio State University created the Generation RX initiative.
It's no longer enough to merely dispense prescription drugs. Today's advanced and complex drug treatments require a concerted effort to educate patients about the proper use of their medications. This is where the Ohio State University's Generation RX initiative seeks to make a difference.
The Generation RX is an educational and awareness program that is a series of learning modules and toolkits that we've worked together with the Ohio State University College of Pharmacy to educate a variety of different audiences: youth, parents, community groups, the elderly, caregivers, healthcare professionals, and students of pharmacy to learn more about the issue and hopefully call them to action to be able to help spread that message.
Generation RX initiative is, we really refer to it as a learning community. It's a group of faculty and students, mainly in pharmacy, but some other groups as well, like Counseling Center and Wellness Center, for example. And we're fundamentally interested in medication safety, learning more about that, and trying to develop resources to impact it, and specifically spending most of our time now on prescription drug abuse prevention. We know that there are kind of pervasive myths about abusing prescription drugs which need to be corrected. So we have data that tells us nationally that particularly young people think this is a safe alternative to kind of dangerous street drugs, as we think of it that way. But also that they often think that it's legal to use these products or that it's not addictive. So some of it is important just to correct some misperceptions.
In the 5 years since Generation RX launched, it's grown into a multi-pronged, high-tech education initiative attuned to patients' needs.
We come from an educational standpoint, so we are creating things that can be used to prevent someone from making a decision to abuse a prescription drug for the first time. The toolkits are basically designed, we created them with Cardinal Health Foundation to really be a turnkey set of materials that someone could pick up if they were asked to do some type of educational programming in their communities. And essentially it's a set of slideshow materials, talking points, question answer prompts that someone could pick up, particularly a health professional, like a pharmacist could pick up, and if they needed to talk to an adult group in their communities, they would be ready to do so. All of the resources would be right there.
Researchers have found that about 1/3 of prescription medication-related problems are preventable, especially among young adults. This is where the students and faculty of Ohio State come in to help.
So when I first started working with Generation RX, I just kind of wasn't sure what it was all about, so I was just getting my feet wet, and I started by helping to lead presentations with college students around Ohio State's campus. There are other schools around the nation being involved in the same kind of outreach, other colleges of pharmacy, and I think it's really important that the people at those colleges and beyond, students, faculty, members of the community get involved, and if we can all kind of collaborate and really get behind this together, then it could be even bigger and maybe more effective too.
One of the big issues in cardiovascular care in this country is the problem of patients not adhering to their prescription plans. This puts pharmacists on the front lines of cardiovascular care, as their actions to increase patient compliance can vastly improve patient health. Drug maker Daiichi Sankyo is working to help pharmacists in this critical role.
Daiichi Sankyo's legacy of innovation goes back over 100 years. It was the first company to discover vitamin B1. They also discovered the class of statins, which are so widely used today. And as an organization, we are committed to continuing that legacy of discovery, and by focusing our energy behind cardiovascular disease, because it still is one of the major unmet medical needs.
As a former pharmacist for the past 25 years, I certainly know that one of the biggest barriers that patients have and physicians have is that the patient actually fill their prescription.
Managing patients with cardiovascular disease is very challenging because patients usually have multiple conditions, and that means many patients are taking more than one medication.
Some of the major challenges for fighting cardiovascular disease is patients actually adhering to the medication that they're prescribed, as well as the fact that every patient responds differently to medicine, so you really need to make sure that there are multiple options to treat any particular type of cardiovascular disease.
But there are ways for pharmacists and the healthcare industry to help patients manage and treat cardiovascular disease.
We provide useful resources and information to enhance patient adherence. We want patients to meet their often difficult to treat cardiovascular goals.
Daiichi Sankyo is committed to helping patients fight cardiovascular disease. And we believe that managed care organizations, pharmacists, health plans, hospital systems all play a vital role in us being able to achieve it.
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we began a postdoctoral industry fellowship alliance with Rutgers University more than 11 years ago. The goal of the program is to prepare pharmacists for challenging careers within the pharmaceutical industry.
Pharmacists are in an ideal role because they are able to counsel a patient, find out what some other additional opportunities are to educate them, and Daiichi Sankyo has created and provided resources that help a pharmacist help a patient track their medication and also educate them about their condition.
Today, the role of pharmacists is expanding to help patients make smart healthcare choices. And in the future, this proactive approach is projected to grow even more.
As healthcare evolves, the role of the pharmacist will continue to gain importance. This is particularly critical as we move into the era of personalized medicine.
I see pharmacists playing an integral role in the future. With healthcare reform, there's new payment models such as accountable care organizations, and also with the focus on comprehensive care, pharmacists are an integral part, or can be an integral part, of patient-centered medical homes. So I see pharmacy really evolving and really moving to the forefront in managing patient care.
We believe the pharmacist has a key role in the management of a patient's health care because they are often the final consultative interaction before the patient takes a critical medication as prescribed by their doctor.
Pharmacists are really at the front line, and our goal is to help to provide them with tools and education for them to better serve the needs of patients.
Daiichi Sankyo believes it's important that the industry make it clear to practitioners that it is our mandate to provide accurate, balanced, truthful, and unbiased information about our products.
Daiichi Sankyo will help improve the lives of patients by focusing our resources, our people, our scientists on finding new ways to advance our knowledge in the treatment of cardiovascular disease.
Completing a PharmD degree is no easy task. The Chicago State University College of Pharmacy prides itself on its ability to provide opportunities for a diverse student body. It's 11th in the nation for most diversity in a pharmacy school. Many students have busy lives and families and find they get a pharmacy education and experience like no other.
Students and faculty alike represent very diverse backgrounds and cultures at the Chicago State University. The College of Pharmacy prepares pharmacists from these diverse backgrounds to provide care for a global community.
The university is really serious about embracing diversity. It's that diversity that pulls the learning communities together, because you have different individuals providing different elements to that whole discussion. And that's where learning really occurs.
If I had to describe the College of Pharmacy, I would say that it focuses on 5 pillars: opportunity, diversity, student-faculty engagement, curriculum, and experiential education.
Faculty play an integral part of the learning experience as they facilitate students in reaching their goals.
The faculty encourage students to pose questions and get involved in the material being delivered. It doesn't stop there. Beyond the classroom environment, we have an open door policy. Our doors are always open to our students. There's basically no barrier.
Our administration is always actively seeking new opportunities for us to flourish and develop, whether it be through networking or volunteer work or additional coursework.
We've formed great relationships with the students that have visited our offices. They've provided us with insight to things that we can do and change in our service delivery, and we hope that we've given them some information that they can take on in their professional life and use, real life skills.
In addition, experiential education provides opportunities for students to apply their knowledge and skills to serve the community's healthcare needs.
We've established a number of partnerships with community pharmacies, independent pharmacies, public health-oriented types of agencies, health systems, and an array of other different types of professional settings to make sure that our students get both the breadth and depth of experience that they need to become competent pharmacists.
It was what I observed at the site that had the most impact on me. With every patient that came in, I saw how much trust they actually put into everyone here and how grateful they were in the end. And it really made me aware as to how much of an impact these community services have on the healthcare field.
Chicago State provides students with the opportunities to succeed while managing their personal and professional commitments.
The college understands my situation of being a single mom, and I've never been penalized for skipping a class because I had to attend to my familial duties. And I actually have been given the opportunity to come to this institution by the Chicago State University, as opposed to other institutions who may have overlooked my application because of my unique situation. So I'm very blessed to have been given the opportunity, and I can go out there and be a pharmacist.
Indeed, we've been very pleased thus far. What we have put in place in terms of our cutting-edge curriculum, with it being very current and future-focused, with our students being able to provide culturally competent care and humanistic care, that indeed we're preparing our students for providing care and services to a global population.
Like almost every other profession, pharmacy has become more competitive for practitioners looking to land that perfect job. But help is just a mouse click away with the latest edition of the Pharmacy Professional's Guide to Resumes, CVs, and Interviewing. This book covers everything from how to write an effective resume to 20 pages of sample questions that are often asked during pharmacy industry job interviews. You can order this book from the APhA online store. Concordia University, Wisconsin has a long tradition of education and community service. The school was founded in 1881 with just 13 students and today has more than 7,600 students, all of them integrating real-world service with their education.
Concordia University, Wisconsin School of Pharmacy in the Milwaukee suburb of Mequon sits on 200 acres right on Lake Michigan.
Students come here and see it as a unique academic setting. One of the other unique things is we were able to develop our curriculum first, and then we were able to build the building to suit that curriculum.
They've designed the building from the ground up with the classrooms being set up so that we can work in small groups. We have a lot of project rooms where we can break in class or use as study rooms, and it really facilitates small group discussions.
If you go under File.
We've got the state-of-the-art technology in there. A lot of the equipment that we're using in labs we're seeing out at our hospitals and other facilities where we go on our rotations.
What are your expectations when you do go on a drug therapy?
In the applied patient care lab, students get their first experience learning how to interact with patients. They learn how to educate patients, they learn how to get a medication list from patients, they learn all of the skills they need to interact with patients in a real-world setting.
The faculty or other instructors are outside so that they're not in the way, but they're able to hear what's happening in the room, see what's happening in the room, and then give feedback.
So when students go out on rotation, they have the opportunity to interact with real patients.
Triglycerides checked.
Learn about the medications that they're taking and apply what they're learning in the classroom to a real life setting.
We have the students get out into the pharmacy practice sites early on in their curriculum, so they're able to experience pharmacy and see a pharmacist in different roles.
Every semester we have a full week that we spend in a hospital and a full week that we spend in a community setting. We can be anywhere from inner city Milwaukee to some really rural parts of Wisconsin, and you get to see all the challenges that people have, both in terms of acquiring health care that way and just in their day-to-day lives.
So far I've been...
With patient-centered care, we're really looking to pick the right drug for the right patient at the right time for the right disease state. So not only understanding the drugs and how they work and the therapy behind that, but then really getting to know your patient and being able to select a medication that's most appropriate and works best for them.
I think that what Concordia is doing exceptional is preparing the students for how to learn and how to provide patient care.
We're very blessed here at Concordia to have both a supportive environment as well as curricular and extracurricular initiatives that develop leaders of tomorrow. We get to work with some great students, and when you're at a Christian university, you know part of the reason that they're here are because they embrace the same types of values that you do. They're learning that service orientation, they're learning to put their patients first.
When we get into a room with them, they're focused on exactly what the experience is and focused on the outcome for the patient and what the benefit will be for both the learner and the patient.
In our curriculum, we're trying to instill in them the ethic of lifelong learning, but also the ethics of care.
I'm continually impressed with how smart, how much background knowledge that a lot of these students come into our organization with a fantastic background on how to provide patient care and what the steps are needed to provide that patient care.
What my goal is to provide them opportunities that they can experience, especially for their 4 years here at Concordia, that they can experience different opportunities in pharmacy that they can take with them and develop into their lifelong careers.
Okay, so you're a newly minted pharmacist and you've just joined the APhA. Good move, but now what? Here's what some key APhA staffers think are the best ways to take that first step as an APhA member.
Any organization is only as strong as its members and their level of involvement. So APhA offers a lot of different opportunities for individuals, and that would be the first thing that I would look into.
Become an active member.
Be involved. APHA wants to hear from you, our members.
We have all kinds of opportunities, from serving on committees to participating in work groups,
whether it's to get involved with advocacy,
to getting people signed up on some of our listservs.
Pharmacy Today, our journal, the Journal of Pharmaceutical Science, we've got something for everyone.
Or whether it's to obtain education and training, or
understand the tools and resources that APHA provides to members.
Go to the website, www.pharmacists.com. We've got lots of information
on educational resources, upcoming meetings where you can go, network, make friends.
And it's the best way to connect with our CEO, Tom Minigan, on his blog.
They've got to find their own pathway in the profession, but we can help them do that.
University of Cincinnati Winkle College of Pharmacy is one of the oldest colleges in the U.S. Its innovative curriculum consists of interdisciplinary core knowledge courses supported by skills and small group activities. This College of Pharmacy sets out to provide real-life experience for its students by reaching out, building strong community ties, and improving the overall health of the population.
I looked at other pharmacy schools, and when I interviewed here, I just felt like I fit. I felt like the professors were really interested in me, and they were interested in the profession itself, and were very passionate. So I just felt like this was going to be a good fit for me.
The Winkle College of Pharmacy engages students in a rigorous curriculum that includes coursework, pharmacy practice, and skills development. This is in addition to an experiential learning program that begins in the first professional year.
Potassium was hypochemical. The BMP was like super high.
Presentations like this, where we have students get together in small groups where they can focus on individual cases and get the opportunity to present them, give them kind of some real life experience as far as what they'll have to do in clinical situations so they feel comfortable doing it.
Research is important for us to keep us on the cutting edge of the fields that we're in.
We take pride in preparing students for the pharmacy of today, but of the future. And so, for example, we early on included immunization training as part of our program, as well as medication therapy management.
UC Winkle College of Pharmacy has a wide variety of training partners in the community, dedicated to providing real-world experiences for students.
We're fortunate, being an urban school located in the metropolitan area, that we have over 200 practice partners that are able to come into our college and participate directly in the training and education of our students.
Working with students and giving them the experience that they need to have a successful career, it's just part of the wheel. You need to have it. It makes the whole curriculum complete. It makes the student complete. It makes the practice of pharmacy complete.
So the college has a strong commitment to community engagement. We actually engage our students with the community at various points in our curriculum, both the didactic, experiential, and extracurricular.
With the goal of creating strong community ties, the Winkle College of Pharmacy is committed to serving the health needs of a diverse and changing population.
I've been very impressed by my advanced rotations this far. I didn't think I would have as many out-of-the-box experiences. I've been able to be in an ICU, an ambulatory care clinic. I've kind of been everywhere. I just finished a rotation actually at St. Vincent de Paul at their charitable pharmacy. So I kind of got to see a little bit of the indigent population as well. So I've had a great mix, and I didn't think I was expecting that variety to come out of my rotations.
Our students are very much interested in outreach, and Cincinnati is a diverse community, and so our students are very much involved providing pharmacy care to those in the community that are in need.
Currently, I'm running a free health clinic down at the drop-in shelter where we service homeless patients who suffer from acute and chronic illnesses.
Partnerships between the Winkle College of Pharmacy and community health centers create strong ties and enhance the mutual commitment to improve the general health of the community.
We're adjacent to University Hospital teaching space, adjacent to the Children's Hospital Medical Center. We're across the street from the College of Medicine, the Academic Health Center Library, and we're right behind the Veterans Hospital. We need to meet the needs of a diverse population. Our healthcare needs are changing. The population in which we deliver healthcare is changing, and we want our student body and our faculty to represent that diversity and be capable of preparing the students for those practice realities.
It will be interesting to see how much changes in a year. The APhA Convention for 2013 is set to take place in Los Angeles, California. Make sure you're a part of it. The Ohio Northern University Rabb College of Pharmacy is one of the oldest pharmacy schools in the U.S. It's committed to integrating the study of genetic responses to drugs. In addition, medication therapy management, MTM, represents the new direction of pharmacy in the 21st century. Ohio Northern combines these two initiatives in a unique, on-campus clinic called HealthWise.
The Ohio Northern University Raby College of Pharmacy is the largest in the Midwest, with nearly 1,000 students enrolled each year in the Doctor of Pharmacy degree program.
We are the teacher scholars of pharmacy education. So we put a primary emphasis on teaching first, but we want to make sure that our faculty are also scholars. And it's that vision statement, the teacher scholar statement, that really helps us stay ahead of the curve when you look at what's happening in the profession of pharmacy.
ONU's on-campus clinic, HealthWise, provides support and education to improve the health and wellness of community members.
For your heart, clopidogrel.
The clinic gives enrollees access to knowledge about their health, which empowers them to make better choices.
And all we need is one cell, and then the lab can determine if you possess the genes necessary for this drug to work. The clinic provides an excellent opportunity for our students to have some hands-on learning experiences. I think one of the main advantages of our program is the convenience. We're located on campus, which cuts down on the need to travel for medical care, and we don't charge a copay to our employees, which eliminates the financial burden.
I've had a great experience here at HealthWise. They've really helped me out a lot, and I've taken full advantage. As we saw from the record, everything's improving. Is that correct,
That's
Doctor?
correct.
Yeah, everything's improving. And I attribute that to the fact that I've been coming here regularly the past 2 years, I believe. So I've gotten very good results.
What was unique about today's appointment is we also are beginning to pilot looking at genetic testing for certain medications.
The School of Pharmacy recognizes that personalized medicine will be integral to the future of pharmacy practice.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to tie pharmacogenetics with pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. Regarding medicine, right now we're at a beginning, an infancy of how this is going to change medicine. Starting with the Human Genome Project back in the 1990s and its first publication in 2001, it's been now about a decade since we've had the human genome sequence. We are learning something every week about how medicine interacts with genes.
The Raby College of Pharmacy represents a commitment in pharmacy education to prepare students to be agents of change.
As elementary as it sounds, it just made sense to me to use the human genome to help better serve patients. And
when I graduate and get a job, I would like to incorporate pharmacogenomics in my practice wherever I'm at. I feel it's very important to personalize medicine to each individual patient.
When you look at where we see the future of pharmacy going, it's moving in the direction of medication therapy management, what we call MTMs. But as the MTMs grow and the science of pharmacy grows, we're going to see that blend of MTMs with pharmacogenetics.
Every week, every month, new information is coming out about how to use drugs more efficiently. Some people have compared this Human Genome Project to landing on the moon. And just now, we are starting to reap the benefits of it. We're just starting to do that. At this point in time, I mean, rarely in history do we have the opportunity to be part of something that's going to change the way we do something worldwide. And pharmacogenetics is that thing. It's the here and now future of pharmacy and medicine.